Hi, everybody. I'm here to talk a little bit about the brand new Alien film, Alien Romulus. And I got to tell you something. I gave up on this series a long time ago, really. I really enjoy the first Alien film from 1979. I think it's a classic. And the second film, Aliens, is very good too. I even like Alien 3 a little bit. The first three Sigourney Weaver Alien trilogy entries are really all I need, pretty much. I remember seeing Alien Resurrection in the movie theater, and I really despised it because even though I went to see it primarily for Sigourney Weaver and Winona Ryder, I remember thinking it was really bad and really kind of comical, unnecessarily so. And I gave up on the Alien franchise and didn't see any other entries for a very, very long time. I didn't see Alien versus Predator. I don't even know which other ones that he had. But somehow I ventured into the theater. I don't even remember the title of which one I saw. It wasn't the last one. I don't think it was Prometheus. I think it was maybe Covenant. I went in to see one and it was a complete mess. And I really came out confused and disoriented and vowed I'd never again see an alien film. Well, this new film, everybody told me, was really good. It harks back to the original Ridley Scott film from '79. 45 years ago. I can't believe this franchise is going on for 45 years. And I heard mostly positive things about it. So it piqued my interest. And I heard they said that pretty much this is a sequel to the original Alien, or it takes place right after the original Alien. So that kind of made me say, you know what? Since many people are saying it's good, since it takes place right after the first Alien, maybe I'll give it a shot. Well, I was very disappointed. Disappointed in the stories that I heard, the positive word of mouth that I heard. Disappointed in that. Am I disappointed in the franchise as a whole? Am I surprised that it was a turd? No, no. I mean, only surprised that it got such positive word of mouth that I was surprised. But if I hadn't heard anything and I had just gone to see it blindly, it wouldn't have surprised me. I won't say it's the worst of the Alien franchise. Definitely not. I just feel like when I see a movie like this, especially these days, this has been going on now for me for something like, I don't know, I want to say 25 or more years. Modern, new films, science fiction, horror, that kind of become all explosions and all in your face special effects. Most of the time, the effects are CGI, computer graphics, and I had heard going in that this was practical effects here. Well, there may have been some practical effects, I won't deny that, but there still was a lot of cartoony and fake looking CGI stuff as well that I really had no need for. But as I say, I think this started, it's hard to know the first film. I know in 1999, I really, really despised the Brendan Fraser Mummy film. And I really hated the Matthew Broderick Godzilla film, which was in 1998. So somewhere around the late 90s into the present day, I started having a real disdain for these newer, crazy CGI, over the top, mind numbing, senseless, in your face just for the hell of it, all out extravaganzas of mayhem and craziness. I couldn't really understand what was going on in the story. I tried my best. Maybe on the next time, if I was to see it next time, I'd pay closer attention or something. But I did. There probably is not going to be a second time. But the first time, there's a ship full of college-aged youngsters. I don't know why it's always got to be teenagers or early 20s or something in these kinds of movies. In the original Alien, people were in their 30s and maybe over that. They were older people. Why does it always have to be kids in these movies? But that's only the beginning of it. The worst part is I didn't care about any of the characters. I had nobody that I identified with, nobody that I gave a damn about. They were all very weakly drawn. They had no real personalities to speak of, with the exception of the android. There was a black android who I thought was very good. That was the only character, the robot, that I felt was somewhat compelling and somewhat interesting and had somewhat of an emotion to him, strangely enough, and was somebody that I could get invested in. That's the only real character. Um, but mostly I didn't know what was going on. The movie was recorded or filmed really dark. Couldn't tell what was happening half the time because it's so dark. I mean, sometimes I couldn't tell who was getting attacked, who wasn't getting attacked. Just over the top, just for the sake of it. Now another thing I didn't like about this is that I can't stand when they go back to past movies in a series and just keep on giving you that old recognition, that old name checking. There was so much stuff here that reminded me of the original Alien, and also Aliens, the second film. And a lot of people I've heard now, after looking at sources and watching a couple of reviews, said that there were nods to other films in the franchise. Nods also to Alien Resurrection, that I don't remember. Nods to, I guess, Prometheus and Covenant. Instead of it being its really own thing, it was kind of like taking ideas. I cannot stand when a sequel or prequel or whatever you want to call these things, when they wind up doing that at a desperation. I think, if I name check things, if I remind the audience of past films, I'll win them over. You don't win me over. You only piss me off when you do that. There was a reusing of the classic line that Sigourney Weaver so well said in Aliens, the second film. Something like, "Get away from her, you bitch," speaking to one of the alien creatures, That had to be reused. In this movie, we also get Ian Holm, who was the robot in the original Alien, and he was destroyed, but now he's brought back through the wonders of cartoon-like CGI. We get to see his head alive again, and I didn't think that was necessary to see him again, but that's the route they went in there. He had a little bit of a influence on the plot. Maybe that part of the movie was the only thing that I kind of liked a little bit, the way he kind of corrupted the good, heroic android that I said I liked earlier on. He kind of, the old guy from the first Alien, Ian Holm, he wound up somehow corrupting a little bit. The second Alien, it just was all over the place. And again, when is this movie going to end? It's only an hour and 59 minutes, 2 hours. But boy, it felt like it was 4 hours. I just couldn't wait for it to end. And when so much action is going on, when so much ooze and goo and flashing by the screen and jumping around and falling and jumping and just going in front of your face like the old MTV music television clips. When you see so much of that going on, instead of me being enthralled, instead of me being entertained, I'm just bored. Oh, come on. Are we out of here? Enough with this. It's too much. Too much. And I really did not enjoy anything. I could not wait for it to be over. I'm not a fan of Alien Romulus. Now, if you want to ask me, well, are you saying I shouldn't see it? You don't recommend it? I'm going to be careful here, because if you like the Alien films, I think you may like this. A lot of people are liking it. You may be hit or miss for you. Don't go by me in this case, unless you happen to watch me sometimes talking about these types of films, and unless you tend to bond with me and you tend to have a common ground with me and how I feel about all these crazy, over-the-top, overblown, mind-numbing extravaganzas of effects. Unless you agree with me on that, and I'm saving you some time and some money, fine. But if you just want to decide for yourself, you may consider me completely wrong and mistaken about this. You may wind up loving this movie. So I say, if you like the Alien films, see it, because a lot of people are liking it. But beware of what I've said. Thanks, everybody.